Mr. Chapman joins us now. Thank you very much for taking the opportunity, and I very much respect what you and your family are trying to do here. What do you want the other parents who are watching tonight to know?
That it could be them. Don't think it can't be. And get some Narcan in your house just in case. Even if it's not your kid, it could be one of their friends.
Now, the unsuspicious says, yeah, but my kid's not using anything like that. Maybe a little weed, maybe this, but, you know, they're not messing around with that. This kid must have had an advanced problem. What do you want them to know about Sammy and what you learned?
Well, he wasn't doing that sort of thing, and this was a first for him. And, you know, they're putting fentanyl in weed, in loose drugs. They're putting it together like Smarties, making rainbow fentanyl around Halloween. It's terrible what they're doing. The cartels are a multi-billion-dollar business that are incredibly sophisticated at distributing this and marketing it, and we're up against a behemoth.
What do you now understand about the role of social media?
Well, social media is trying to addict our children, and in particular, the ones with our kids on, like Snapchat, the drug dealers and the pimps. There are all sorts of harms going on, but fentanyl is the worst, and people are dying. We're losing 200 a day, 73,000 in 2022. The chemicals are coming from China, and China had 0 deaths in 2022. So we've got to do something to stop this at the source, and then the social media companies are solving the last mile problem for the drug dealers.
When you look at Sammy's situation, what did you learn about how the dealers were able to contact him and how they were basically offering him a menu of different types of drugs, yes?
That's right, and they use emojis to get by the filters and slang and code words. They offered him something for free because fentanyl is so addictive. It takes 2 grains of salt worth of fentanyl to kill a child, and once you've had it, you're addicted for life. So they're giving it away. They're dosing it for addicts, but those doses are enough to kill a child. And they're also finding the weaknesses in our drug supply and counterfeiting those drugs. So ADHD meds are running short, and they're putting fentanyl into fake ADHD meds. They're doing it with some cancer drugs that there are shortages of as well. And it really galls me that China is not only sending over the chemicals, they're sending over the pill molds to the cartels to make the counterfeit drugs.
Yeah, another big issue with our national security when you start talking about the border is the cartel's role in this. And Mr. Chapman just gave you guys a really good tip. You know, this generation of kids grew up with brown bottles. They grew up with prescription drugs in a way that you and I didn't. And they're familiar with them, and they're comfortable with these drugs because they've been prescribed. So the dealers know that, and they'll say, hey, I know Adderall is really tough to get. I can get it for you cheap. And I've got a hybrid of it, and the suggestion's very strong. So some people are going to hear what you're saying, and they're going to be like, what do you mean emojis? Like, how does this even work? We had our team show how easily this can be done. I think it was my guy, James Lucci did it for us today. Let's play the clip, Dusty, for me and Mr. Chapman to show everybody how easy it was for Luch to get what he wanted.
I start by just typing oxycodone. And then when I do that, I go to tags. I can search, go to tags. It immediately comes up with a disclaimer, but I could swipe it away. And then you immediately see every state or major city in America and abroad having these options. And we can click into any one of them, and I can immediately click on something like this where it says shop is open and gives me the tags to reach out to. Another easy way to buy drugs on Snapchat, I immediately go to the search bar here and type in plug me in, which is a phrase for hook me up. And it'll bring me to a bunch of different accounts that I can add and eventually reach out to. And with Snapchat, it's anonymous, and usually chats delete right after they're sent.
Now, two things. First, we blurred for privacy issues. Second, don't get it twisted. Don't say we're showing people how to get the drugs. Believe me, the information is already out there. I'm trying to bring you up to speed on this. This isn't, believe me, kids aren't watching this right now and saying this is how I can get drugs. They're already there and susceptible. It's for us to catch up to this problem. What's the last thing you want people to remember, Mr. Chapman?
Putting your kids on social media these days is like dropping them off in the worst drug-filled neighborhoods and hoping they'll do okay.
You got to have an uncomfortable relationship with your kids these days. You got to be nosy. You got to remind them that it's not their phone, it's your phone. Let them get a job and start paying for it. Then it's their service. You got to have the fights to avoid the pain. I hear it from parent after parent. And Sam, if there's anything that I can do to help with your move and what you're doing with your group and spreading awareness, we are always a call away. There, but for the grace, go my kids and my loved ones. So thank you very much for being with us. Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.